What's up, gamers? SweetJohnnyCage here, and welcome to my review of Uncharted 2 Among Thieves for the PlayStation 3. Uncharted 2 is obviously a direct sequel to Uncharted 1, which was released in November of 2007 in the States. Now, there was a trailer for Uncharted 2 that was released a little while ago, and it showed Nathan Drake, the protagonist of this game, sitting inside of a train car that was dangling off of a cliff. And as you may have guessed it, that's how this game starts out. As soon as the game starts out, you have to maneuver Nate out of this train car and back onto solid ground. And believe me, this is no easy task because Nate is in pretty bad shape, as you saw in the trailer.
What's going on? That's my blood. That's my blood. That's a lot of my blood.
Once you get back on solid ground, you have to work through a lot of train rubble. Now, since Nate's in pretty bad shape, he's going to pass out a lot. And every time that he passes out, you have a flashback to an earlier part of the game. Now, the gameplay for Uncharted 2 is pretty similar to Uncharted 1. There's really not too much that's different. But for those of you who don't know, the gameplay is a cross between a third-person shooter and a platformer. Just think Tomb Raider, but done correctly, great controls, awesome music, a protagonist that you don't want to strangle after 5 minutes of playing, and in a much better setting. As with the first game, the controls are solid. There are a few instances where the camera doesn't really want to be your best friend, but no game is perfect. Running, jumping, shooting, taking cover, everything is on point the way it should be. There are a few added gameplay elements that weren't in the first game. The most noticeable of these new elements is using grenades. Instead of equipping a grenade like you would a normal weapon, you just have them on you at all times and they're always equipped. The way you gotta use them is you gotta hold the L2 trigger, aim the arc, and then press L1 to launch the grenade. It's kind of a weird little setup, but it works, and it works well, so I really can't complain. Now, something Uncharted 1 was famous for were the puzzles, and believe me, Uncharted 2 does not disappoint. Some take less than a minute, some take more than 10 minutes, but once you complete a puzzle, you're left with an awesome sense of accomplishment. Some of the puzzles are simple, you just push a block into place and it opens a door. There are others that require a lot of attention to small details, such as the light puzzle. You have to move mirrors into a position so they drop spikes. Then you have to climb the spikes, maybe shoot out an eye or drop onto an eyebrow so it opens up another eye. There's a lot of weird stuff going on, but once it all falls into place, it makes some sense. The environments in this game are stellar. I'm not just talking about graphics, I mean the actual settings. You go from freezing mountaintops of Tibet to the jungles of Borneo and to cities destroyed by conflict. Most of this conflict is actually created by the game's antagonist, Zoran Lazarevic. Now, as I said, the game starts out with you moving through a lot of train rubble. And when Nathan passes out the first time, you're brought into a flashback where Nathan's sitting at a bar on some beach on some island. An old friend named Harry Flynn comes up to him and proposes him an offer he really can't refuse. This offer has to do with Marco Polo's lost fleet. Although Marco Polo recorded everything that took place on his journey, he never said what happened to this fleet. Now that's where Harry and Nathan come in. They're trying to find the fleet and find the treasure that sunk along with it. The first actual mission of the game is sneaking into a museum, trying to get a lamp that Marco Polo left behind. Now, while this may sound easy, you really have to sneak into this place. You can't just go run a gun, you don't even have a gun. You have to sneak up on the guards and kill them with stealth. Now, this is an element that was in Uncharted 1, but you never really were forced to use it. However, in Uncharted 2, you are forced to use it in a lot of situations, especially in a situation such as this. And because of the increase in these situations, I feel like the hand-to-hand combat has been improved a lot since Uncharted 1. Although, it could just be that since I didn't use it in Uncharted 1, it all just kind of seems new to me. There was one recurring situation that I saw happening in the game. At times, you have to run against the camera while something, usually a truck filled with angry guys with big guns, is chasing you. I found that to be really familiar. Then it hit me. This game is made by Naughty Dog, the company famous for the Crash Bandicoot series. So I started up Crash Bandicoot 2 and went to a certain level. Check out the similarity here. Not that I mind, it's actually an element of both games that I love. If it was meant to be a fan service, then Naughty Dog did an impeccable job. If not, it's an element I was glad to see anyway. Now, one feature I really want to talk about for a second is the built-in Twitter feature. Now, whenever a big event in the game occurs, maybe you get up to a certain point, you unlock a certain trophy, you do something in the multiplayer game, it automatically updates your Twitter account. I'm pretty sure this is the first game to do this. I've never seen it in any other game, but I really hope that other companies take note and do this more often. Overall, I'm going to give Uncharted 2 Among Thieves a 95% and a 5 out of 5 Lonnie face. Aside from some bad camera angles and some annoying AI, sometimes you want to go somewhere, but your partner gets in your way, and then you fall. It gets annoying sometimes, but really nothing too much to complain about. Alright guys, if you want to check out Uncharted 2 or Uncharted 1, please look to the right of this video inside of the video description for a link to VideoGameCentral.com. Inside of the video description, you can also find a link to our new blog entitled Gamer Grenade. Alright guys, I'm SweetJohnnyCage. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.